Hello, everyone. This is Marita, one who catches lightning, with the Path of Ish podcast, Walking with Our Shadow, where we share ancient indigenous teachings of remembrance, all so we can walk and learn how to walk a path of radical self-love. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this space, to this circle. As we gather around again and share life. I'm super excited today because we are opening the circle and inviting another voice into it. And so today we're going to hear a little bit from Mish, and Mish will go into her own creation story. But the reason I'm so excited to have this being in the circle is this is someone who walks truly in circleness. What does that mean? Well, you will see and hear as Mish weaves together their story of creation and tells us a little bit about what it means to be able to walk a path of intimate, radical self-love. So with that, let us open up the circle and invite Mish in. Welcome, Mish.
Thank you, beautiful Marita, for having me in this space.
Feeling good, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, Mish, why don't you give us a little bit or tell us a little bit of your creation story? Those things that want to bubble up to the surface as you invite people to get to know you a little bit more.
My creation story. I come from a beautiful Mauritian family, a people of circle, I would say. Those who love food, those who love celebration, those who love congregation. I have a beautiful matriarch that is sat at the pinnacle of our family, my beautiful grandmother on my mother's side. And I was taught a long, long time ago as a small child that storytelling is a big part of our world, a big part of our family, a big part of our community, and a big, big part of my creation story, more so than I ever thought it would be. It's allowed me to come from a place where, as many of us have done, grown into teenage years, done the rebellious thing, did the responsible thing of going in and getting a normal job with normal pay and normal 9-to-5 day-to-day. And I fell into lots of different things. I did construction, I did law, I did all of those things of structure and conformity, that gave me a good business head. So I can say thank you to the pinstripes part of me in that respect for the business side that has come into my life. But it also showed me a flip side. And the flip side of that was that I was missing a lot of the storytelling, a lot of the wholeness of heart that I hold so dear to myself. And that's where I started to return to the spaces of me. And I've always known that they are there. They've been instilled in me from a very long time ago. So I have spent time going back, moonwalking, as we say in our beautiful student spaces at Path of Ish, and returning back to the heart, allowing myself to really just sort of feel into what brings the wholeness and the completeness and the light that sits within me, what brings me to a place of goodness and happiness and allowing myself to unfold fully. And for that, I have the practice of heart medicine through Path of Ish that I sit in today, that allows for me to really just feel the cohesiveness of myself a lot more. And that allows for the unfolding of storytelling, which returns me back to my childhood. Full circle, right?
Yes, full circle. I didn't know you were in construction. I knew the law. And so when I hear that, I hear a being whose intelligence at maybe even an essence level or subconscious level was finding ways of how to build things, how to tell that story. Do we tell it through law, through the rules? Do we tell it through being able to design a space and build it? Or how can we weave those together and bring them back to the heart space? So I love that because knowing that I can see that in how I see you building stories at times and building your life. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. It's so funny how things come to you in the spaces of just being able to remember. Construction before this time, strangely enough, hasn't even been on my radar for such a long time. And it's just through the things of being able to remember the places that we've been and what it is that really has built and impacted on us, allowing us to grow, that it's woven itself into today's story. So thank you, construction.
Now I know who to call when I need some help.
Oh, me and my big mouth. What do I say these days? No, happy to help. Anytime, anytime. It's quite interesting like that too, because construction came at a time in my life as well where it was difficult. I just lost my dad at that time as well, for a period of time, and it was growing into some very difficult phases of my life where relationships were hard and I needed new building blocks, you could say. So how interesting it is to be able to feel into those moments of being able to connect the dots and see what it was that brought the stability in me. Allowing the storytelling to grow, it comes very much from all of that. And I'm so happy to have that as a base, as a foundation for myself to be able to return to today and just feel into that. Continually, I find as a student in the medicines that I am so gifted and very, very humbled to be able to receive at this beautiful school of Path of Ish. It just allows for so much unfolding in me and growth. Just when you think you know yourself, it allows for me to learn even more about myself. So I am so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Now, you've mentioned a few times how you are a student, and I believe we're forever students, but you also teach. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about the teachings that you share and how you weave what you have learned and what you are offering now and being called to offer as you move forward in your medicine.
So beautiful. Thank you for the opportunity to do that. I started, as I said, in the heart, allowing myself to really just come from a space of beautiful, heartfelt light. And my gift is exactly that, to be able to speak from my heart space. So in my medicine at heart.earth.drum, I say to people that, yes, I am a meditation guide. I am a poet. I am a storyteller. I am a circle facilitator. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. But above all of that, I'm a listener. And the thing that fuels me the most is that I honor those who have walked before me. all of my elders and my guides who fill my heart with love and wisdom. They direct me to cross my paths with those that feel the medicine in themselves. And what I am here for is to keep and help them keep their own fires burning brightly, sharing the warmth of their hearts with everything that sits around us. These are the teachings that I am spilling into now at Path of Ish, and I thank you, Marita, because everything that holds me is connection with those that are around me. Everything that I feel into and that I learn at Path of Ish through Jaguar medicine, and my beautiful love affair with Cacao of the beautiful big island of Hawaii at Cuatro Manos y Cinco Volcanes. And I'm learning Spanish at the same time, so I'm so excited about that. It allows me to be able to feel into the roots of everything and just know that I am such a big part of it. Know that we are all interwoven in such a beautiful way, and the way that my senses, my eyes, my heart, my ears, my hands, my tastes receive everything now, it is because of the connection that I hold with so much that sits around me in these spaces of slowness and of stillness.
One of the beautiful things well, you said many beautiful things, but one of them that really stood out was how you talk about being a student and the medicine of speaking from the heart. But I see that being directly correlated of how you listen. So really, it's almost like the way to speak from the heart is to be able to listen with the heart. And I find many times that when people are in or put themselves in positions of sharing or teaching in any way, shape, or form, that there's not a lot of listening. So, could you tell us how you have learned to listen?
Listening is everything. Listening has come from times where I have sat with my grandmother and peeled that many vegetables and heard her stories. Listening has come from fire and times where we have congregated together and just looked into the flame and felt each other in the spaces. Listening has opened my senses to so many things as I take off my shoes and walk into the sunshine and allow myself to feel the earth. As I walk slowly and see all the colors that are around me and know that even in a day that brings such despair, such difficulty some days, and we all feel that. We all have those days. We can see such beauty in the world. It allows us to see the small happiness that we have in simplicity. It's not just listening to voices, it's listening to everything. The rains, the waters in streams and oceans, the wind as it howls and comes through us and is a part of us as we breathe it in. There are so many lessons in being able to feel into that stillness and just receive that listening. Cacao has been one of my most beautiful teachers. To be able to prepare, to be able to take in Cacao with my senses. It took me 3 weeks when I received Cacao as she sat on my altar, as I approached her every day and said, how about it? Is it today? Is it going to be today? Are we going to get together today? And I have had to sit with Cacao, and I have had to learn patience to be able to know that it is an honoring to know her story, to be able to feel into her and allow for her to show me that with time, with patience, with allowing myself to be able to make room, and that has been the biggest thing. You cannot pour into a full cup And I've started to learn that very, very much so now. To make room in myself is to gift myself time to be able to take the time for me to discard what it is that I do not need anymore and to allow for things to whisper in my ear. So, yes, it is all about slowness. And as I approach my 50th year next year, and I'm very excited to do that, moving more into grey hair and allowing for my silvers to hopefully bring some knowledge and wisdom into my life. I am very grateful for all of the things that have slowed me down and allowed for me to listen more.
You know, you have been taught by being held in circleness since you were young. And that is not something that all people are given. And so, as you and I speak, because we both have a background of circleness, which is cultural, I'm wondering, to all the outside people listening to this, I'm wondering what they're saying of like, what are they talking about? And so I'd love for you to share what circleness means to you.
Circleness to me, it's beautiful. It feels warm and inclusive. It allows for me to understand that all parts of myself, and I again have to thank Cacao for that, all parts of myself in shards or in wholeness of circle, whatever way it comes, the perfect, imperfect that is me, has brought me to this place of now. It is journeying. Circle is allowing for a slow walk to be able to collect things along the way, to give you time to be aware of all of the things that cross your path and to be thankful for everything that comes. Circle is unity. Circle is beautiful completeness that really continues in lifetimes. It never really ends. It allows for just an interwovenness, a beautiful way of being able to just walk and to choose a way of walking, to be able to see things completely and easily. If you want them to be easily seen and simple, they can be in a circle. It's just a matter of what it is that you want to be able to walk with. And circle is protection. It is safety. It allows for you to choose what it is that you want to keep in your inner beautiful circles that are precious, and to keep at bay what it is that you do not want to enter those circles of your life.
As you're sharing this, there's something that I find important to speak to. And it's something that you will hear me say now and in the past, probably, and in future podcasts. And that is value. There is something so inherent about how you are speaking, how you've learned to listen, how you invite things in, is because you have placed value upon these experiences, upon these voices. And I'm wondering, for people who did not grow up with backgrounds like that, or who do not know or do not speak to rocks and trees and winds, because they haven't been taught the value of it, right? I think that's the bridge right there. What is a recommendation that you have to start learning the value of the trees and the ocean and the breezes and the grasses and the rocks, and have that, what you call, slow way of being?
It's just a different way of walking. Opening our eyes to be able to slow down. And I say this to my children quite a bit. Kids are fast, right? And we've all been there, running here and there, doing whatever it is. And we can continue that into our lifestyles as well, of being busy, being too fast, being in a way that we put emphasis on things sometimes in our lives that are quite meaningless when you look at the big picture of what is important to you. And I feel like, again, the old ones speak, to me quite a bit in that respect. My grandmother used to say to me, when we get in the car and we drive to places, it is so fast, you can't see anything. You go from A to B and, you go those point destinations and from where you have come from and you see where you arrive. So get out and walk, she says. Get out and walk and notice everything that is around you and take it in. Allow for yourself to really just be slow and see all the color, all the life, all the texture of the world that wants to show itself to you, and understand what it is that is your story in between. Know who you are a lot more from the slowness of what it is that you pour into yourself. What you see, what you value, what you see in simplicity, what you feel, the sun from just walking, the rays of beautiful light, the clouds, the birds, the trees, the rocks, everything that sits around you. The more you walk instead of being fast and just not noticing anything in that respect, the more you understand yourself, your purpose, your life, and the simplicity of what it pours back into you.
You are talking about living the journey, not the destination. And I think that image is an image because that we can kind of start wrapping our heads around, because many times what I've also seen is that speed gives people the capacity to accumulate, as you were saying. And we live in a society where accumulation means progress. So what you are asking, it's not even about slowness, right? It's about, can your value be based on a different way of being, therefore receiving? Would I be correct in saying it that way?
Absolute. I think that's the thing. Abundance is a beautiful word, but it is so monetarily defined sometimes. We don't realize the richness of our life and what it is when we place value on ourselves and what we pour into us. It is a beautiful way of being able to feel into what is important on that journey.
And so as you feel into this value shift, which is what it is for many people, could you share with us a story or a value that has come into your heart space as of late, where you have been seeing yourself change from what you call speed to slowness?
Oh my gosh, there are so many stories. But I am a foodie. I love food, and I think that is one of the beautiful gifts that I have been given from my family, from my grandmother, from my father. All of them cook, and all of them love the richness and the color and the beautiful tastes of our kitchen. And I am a crazy creative cook. I love to be able to use many things. And that has been one of the most interesting stories that I have, and lessons that I have learned for myself is that in this world of abundance, where I have had so many opportunities to be able to fill my kitchen with many things, I have been fast before. I have chopped things quickly. I have thrown things in 5 different pots. I have used about 15 spoons. I have randomly and quickly grabbed herbs and spices and done whatever it is that I have needed to be able to pour into these spaces until I have slowed down of late. And it has taken me, gosh, I'm slow. It has taken me 48, 49 years to be able to work out that in the slowness of being able to appreciate what sits around me. And that is not only just my beautiful garden with the herbs that come so freely and grow so abundantly. It is for my family, for my partner in life, my beautiful husband, who also looks at all of the crazy mess that I make in my kitchen and feels it's unnecessary also. You know, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. So I have to say, Marita, I'm going to drag you into this story because you have been a big part of it. We sat one day and you said to me, go and make stone soup. And I'm like, what is that anyway? I don't even know what you're talking about here. And so I took things back to bare bones. I went out one day over some time that I had to retreat on my own. And I took some very easy, basic, simple things with me. And I allowed fire and stones to be able to show me a simple way in one small dish to put all of the ingredients of things together that I needed. And each one I poured in with intention and love. Each one had time to be able to come in their own time, in their own order, in their own way. And everything was showing me how to do it. Everything was speaking to me in that space of being able to say, right, this is when this is coming in. It's not up to you. It's up to me. Let me pour this in first. So it basically came like that. And before I knew it, Stone Soup was showing me how the simplicity of life can be so fulfilling, so beautiful. So I started to cook like that in my house, and my husband was amazed and thought, who is this woman? Oh my God, she's not my wife. Is this my wife? So everything that was coming in was speaking to me and saying, all right, it's my turn to come and show itself in this pot. And as I stirred in these beautiful ingredients that were bringing something together that was made with such love, I started to understand what the value of all of these things were bringing into my heart, allowing me to know that I don't control things. I allow for things to make their way, to come forward and show me so that I can feel into the lessons of being able to learn more, understand more, listen more, know a lot more. And I have a clean kitchen at the end of the day, which my husband is very happy about. So thank you to all of my relations who come into my pot, into my kitchen and show me how it is that simplicity and value can create such abundance in my life.
That's a beautiful story and a perfect, image to be able to feel into. Today went to the grocery store, a grocery store that I was told to go to, and I didn't want to go because it's usually much more expensive. And I knew I had limited time. And so I was trying to, get my things and leave. But my wife hadn't given me a list, and I usually use those. And I found myself being like, I didn't even know these things are made out there. It was a grocery store that had a lot more than what I'm used to. And so there was a lot of options. And it reminds me of the time that I came back after spending a lot of time in different countries in Africa, and I'd come back and just be overwhelmed by the choices, overwhelmed by how many cereals are there and how many. This day would be how many nut milks are there? How many ways can we milk an almond? I guess there's many ways, and so it's good to be able to understand that and give value to these things that we're so used to throwing in a pot, buying off a shelf. Everything and everyone that goes into bringing this option to you, it's massive. And many times I feel that we lose that as we, as you say, rush forward to the destination. And so today, what I would love to do, Mish, if you are up for it, is between the both of us, I'll start us off and I'll close us. Do a meditation where you take people through an exercise of making stone soup. What do you think?
Oh, that sounds nourishingly beautiful.
Beautiful. I love stone soup. It teaches us so many things, and stone soup, not only this children's book or fable, has been used in many of my traditions as a way to learn things about yourself and about others. So I'm super excited that the mineral kingdom showed up today in our conversation, and that stone soup has shown up to be created. So, with that acceptance, with that image, with that guide, let us start to get ready for our meditation as we get into a comfortable space. And just allow yourselves to let these conversations start settling in. For those of you who are not used to a rhythm or a life of living in circle, I highly recommend having a representation of circle on an altar. You can draw a circle in a journal for this exercise, or just have something small, a pocket advisor that is circle shaped, just as a tool as you go and listen through these episodes to learn about or feel into more this circleness that keeps coming up to be spoken about. So with that, we invite circle into this space, into a deeper way, as an image, as a blueprint, as a way of being, an invitation to value. And with that invitation, let us invite ourselves into this circle. And we will do so by taking our 3 breaths in and out through the nose, beginning now with our first breath. In and out through the nose. Inviting our mind into this time and space. In and out through the nose. Inviting our body into this time and space. In and out through the nose. Inviting our essence into this time and space. And as they come in, we invite them into the space of circleness. with that, I will hand things over to you, Mish, to walk us through stone soup.
Feeling into that beautiful circleness, the slowness of breath, allowing for yourself to feel the slowness all around you. Sitting with the trees that sit in this space and acknowledging them as they sway beautifully and easily. Showing us and giving us permissions to be able to feel into the ease of ourselves. Feeling into the earthiness of the ground as we feel the warmth of the sun that sits and connects us with our ancestors in this space and time. Allowing for ourselves to feel into the beautiful fire that we start to ignite. Can you feel it in your heart? The beautiful warmth that comes from connection with flame that allows for you to be able to feel into those stories of old, bringing in all that you have known from long ago, allowing you to look into that beautiful warmth, that flame, and say thank you. Thank you, ancestors who have poured into me, elders who have sat with me and smiled into the beautiful spaces that I have felt comfort and love and safety in. The fire now brings stones that we have selected for this beautiful space to begin. Stones of all shapes and sizes and colors, reminding us how different we can be to each other, but still feel the unity of being the same. Congregation, no judgment, no expectation. Allowing the stones to be warmed in this fire. Feeling that beautiful warmth, that hearth in ourselves. Allowing us to sit in this space. Feeling into the stillness. Giving us time to listen within to all that has poured around us. All that has come into us from the fire, from the stones, from the patience, from the waiting, from the observing, from the allowing. Everything that comes in its own time, and the stones will let us know when it is time to be able to be ready. In the meantime, we invite water into our beautiful dish. Pouring water in and adding in with this water all of the herbs, all of the simplicity of spice, all that wishes to come. Listen to them, ask them, allow for them. If it is that they are to be here, they will let you know. And with them, when it is time to do so, allow for stones to come in with water and create that beautiful steam that invites the smiles of your ancestors, that lets them sit with you in these spaces, and that gives you all a beautiful, beautiful, soft and stillness of time to take in all of the smells of goodness, to know that this slowness will nourish your bellies and will allow for you to feel into the remembering of what is within. We say thank you to our ancestors in this space. We say thank you to the elders that have poured into us the stories that we have known in childhood, in adulthood, the lessons that we begin to unfold in ourselves as we grow into our skins and learn what it is to be able to take those beautiful lessons by the hand and say thank you. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for telling me. And thank you for allowing me to digest when I have needed to, at a time that I am full and ready to be able to know that this is part of my journey and that it comes at the exact time that I am ready for it. Thank you, Stone Soup, for all the lessons, for all the nourishment, and for all the love.
And as we allow these moments, these ingredients, these flavors, this knowledge to marry together, we know that we can always come back and sit with our stone soup. It's always better on the second day anyways. As we learn our value and what we deem valuable in our life. With gratitude to Mish and her ancestors, let us take our 3 breaths now, closing the circle at the moment on this meditation. So let us take 3 breaths in and out through the nose. This first breath, giving gratitude to our essence for being here in this time and space, in this circleness, in this stone soup. In and out through the nose as we give gratitude and thanks to our bodies for being in this time and space, this circleness, this stone soup. In and out through the nose as we give gratitude for our minds for being in this time, in this place, in this circleness, in this stone soup. Replicating the warmth of the fire in the soup, let us rub our hands together, feeling that warmth, placing our hands over our heart, letting that warmth sink in. And I bow to you, Mish. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you as I bow back to you in this beautiful space and say thank you for the gifts of today.
Thank you, Mish. Would you like to share anything else with us at the moment?
I would just like to say, nourishment of self comes in many forms. We have many gifts that are given to us in this lifetime. So if you still have elders in your family that can pour in those stories, listen to them. Take your time, allow for yourself to be able to feel into what it is that they have to say. We have so much that we do and rush to, and we make our lives so busy that we don't have that time, or at least we don't make that time to be able to do that. And they are not with us forever and a day. Carry their stories. Allow for them to pour into you so that you can feel the value of what it is that sits within them that comes into your spaces and will go and be in the generations to come. It's an allowing, and it's a beautiful way of being. And I am so, so blessed in this lifetime to have this medicine open to me at Path of Ish, through my Jaguar medicine, through Cacao medicine, through Rainbow medicine. We have so many different things that we have in this space and in this time. So allow yourself to feel nourished and go slow.
Beautiful. Thank you for that reminder and those words of encouragement to connect, right, to our elders. So many times we forget and want to connect to ancestors and have no dialogue with those living. And sometimes it's harder that way, but if you have the opportunity to sit with elders, your cup and your stone soup will be full. Thank you, Mish. And would you like to tell us one last thing, where we can find you?
Yes, definitely. If you're feeling in your heart that these words are connecting to you today, please find me on Facebook at heart.earth.drum or on Instagram at heart.earth.drum. Yeah, where we can sit together in beautiful heart circles and unfold together in however it comes. 2022 is going to be a beautiful year, and there are going to be many offerings that are online this year so that our heart family can just extend out into the world. So please watch that space and come in, and also find me at Path of Ish as well next year, where we have many, many offerings that are going to be coming forward. I'm so excited to be sitting here and unfolding with you in this lifetime.
It is an honor for me as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining our circle. Thank you, Mish, again, for taking the time to listen and speak from the heart. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week, everyone. And I hope that this week, as you practice making your stone soup, that you take the time to value everything that you put in there, everything in your life. Many blessings. Once again, it is with deepest gratitude that I bow to you for joining me on this podcast, this episode, this circle, this plática, this meditation, this remembering. I hope that you have stayed curious. I hope to see you in the circle again next week. So make sure that you like or follow. Until then, may you be blessed with abundance of peace and radical self-love.